Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to Somatic Balance.108. My name is Caroline, I'm your head practitioner. Today we will be talking about kindness to self and other mysterious superpowers. This is not a sales pitch, this is purely informative, so you get a better understanding before you purchase what you might get, and if it's even worth it for you, if that is something you're interested in. As always, there's a link in the description box leading you to purchase the book if you feel called to do so. Kindness to self. What does that mean? Well, I think we can all agree on that kindness has become a rare commodity. What is kindness anyway? Kindness is an act of being nice without wanting something in return. Sounds impossible these days? Yes. It kind of feels that way sometimes. The sentence, treat others the way you like to be treated, used way too many times and not actioned enough. So I think we can all agree that we don't want to be spat on, that we don't want to be kicked, that we don't want to be cursed at. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want that in my life. Think of a scenario in the city. You may go past a homeless person. Or you may go past, somebody who is stuck in their phone and scrolling. There's so many moments in our lives where we are tested in our kindness. How do we respond to everyday circumstances that may be a stressor or a trigger to us? I refer to multiple everyday examples in the book, but one in particular. Most of us can relate to that hectic email we get from our boss with a deadline while we are already about to finish 3 other projects, have a phone call and a meeting in 5 minutes. Stress overload. If I would now come to your desk and be like, hey, how was your weekend? If I'm lucky, you're gonna say nothing because you're so focused. If I'm unlucky, you snarl at me or snitch at me. That's not kind, is it? But our window of capacity only has so much space for kindness before we retreat into fight and flight. Yes, those famous fight, flight, fawn, freeze responses are definitely part of our everyday life. Sometimes more, sometimes less. How do you notice that you're stuck in those responses? Awareness, discussed in a different book. Kindness is a pretty big deal. Because if we don't experience kindness really early on in life, we genuinely don't know how to be kind. The subtitle talks about the inner child. And yes, spoiler alert, this is where it all starts. What is the inner child? The inner child is your mini-me that is stuck in a scenario where you have not been met, not have been heard, not have been seen, not have been validated, not have been communicated with. There's this notion that our inner child had a lack of nourishment. Nourishment in this particular context does not mean malnutrition. Nourished in that context means being met with the ultimate level of love to keep our brain safe and doesn't fear for life. When we are 10 years and younger, basically any time we are not met feels to us like a threat to life. Before the age of 4, it factually is a threat to our life if we are not met. We are born depending on a caregiver. Most of you will be familiar or have at least heard of the studies that have been conducted in the 80s, where they have taken children away from their mothers to test how long they're going to survive if they're fed, drank, nappies changed, and clinically taken care of without any love. Every single one of them passed before the age of 1. Nurture in that matter, which is love, connection, warmth, tenderness, and neuroreceptive reply, or neuromirroring, is crucial to our survival. If that has not been met through our childhood developing years, it is incredibly hard to get back to that connection to self and safely connection to others in adulthood. And you may also have read that before. Your ideal partner will trigger all of the unmet needs. First, you're gonna fall in love because they represent everything you lack of. Healing the inner child is really vital for healthy relationships in adulthood. A safe space is crucial. Ideally, you have your first inner child healing with a professional. A therapist, a coach, a retreat guide, anybody who has really looked into guiding you into that space safely and getting you out of that space safely. We definitely want to avoid to be stuck in a bad memory. A guided inner child healing session very easily can bring up serious emotions. However, if done right, the beautiful mix between being your adult you and nurturing your little you can be so healing. If you'd like to know more, or if you're from the Greater Sydney region, feel free to reach out. I do facilitate inner child work. Otherwise, come to one of my next retreats. There's always one around the corner, either here in Australia or over in Europe. Till then, grab a copy of my book, read a little bit more about kindness and inner child, how these are linked, and what one of the two can look like in your life. If you made it all the way to the end and it was your first time, well done. If you've been a returnee, thank you so much, and don't forget to share the love. Click the notification bell so you don't miss when a new video is coming up, and hit that subscribe button so that the channel moves up and becomes more visible to more people. My credo is healing the world one soul at a time. Remember, exhale longer than you inhale. Till next time, have a beautiful day.